Hello, CF Yogis, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kelly. I'm one of the instructors here at CF Yogi, and happy Memorial Day, first of all. Thank you to all those who have served our great nation and led us to the lives that we're able to live here, and then those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. We honor them and their families and their legacy. So today is the last Monday of the month of May. And this month we've been celebrating CF Awareness Month. So each Monday we've been having yoga for everyone. So this is a public class. It's open to anyone to watch, even outside of our CF Yogi community and library. So we invite you to share the message of CF Yogi and what we do in our mission, and maybe possibly introduce somebody to yoga for the first time. So again, here our mission on CF Yogi is to promote health and wellness, and especially spiritual, mental well-being with those afflicted with cystic fibrosis, whether that be the patient themselves or the caregivers. So we're really proud and honored to serve that mission and help those that might need some mental health and peace and spirituality, and just that mindfulness practice to kind of help reduce anxiety, depression, those sorts of things, and then get back to yourself and be able to practice self-love through the practice of yoga. So today we're going to keep the yoga practice light and mild and gentle, so it'll be for all levels. We'll have different modifications along the way, so feel free to take any of the modifications that you would like to as we perform movements. And again, this is your practice, so make it your own. If I offer a movement that might be not feeling up to your body today, feel free to just go ahead and pass on that or take a modification. Again, this is your practice. Do what you want to and what feels good to you. So if we're ready, all you'll need is a yoga mat for today's practice. And then what might be helpful is like a pillow or a yoga block for some of the poses to help modify. And I'll offer when to use those implements for your practice. So if we're ready, we're going to go ahead and jump onto our mat. And we're just going to sit into our easy pose. And I like to kind of wiggle around, kind of sitting down with the sits bones. And then the sits bones, what I mean is your tailbone. So you want to ground within the floor. And then taking a few breaths and just slowing the pace of your breath, and just taking a moment just to be present within your body and in the confines of your mat. And then slowing down your breath, whatever that might mean. Feel free to make your eyes heavy or even close your eyes. And just taking a moment to be still, breathe. And with each inhalation, maybe growing the spine up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, letting the shoulders roll back down your back, drawing the shoulders away from your ears. And just feeling that breath move through your chest. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, feel free to do so at this time. So an intention for your practice might be to offer yourself some peace, some solitude. Maybe there's a special place that brings your heart full and warmth and comfort, maybe visualizing that space and time. And then if you need to revisit it during and throughout your practice, maybe thinking about the sensations that place brings, the sounds, the feels, maybe the smell. And then just taking a few more deep breaths. And then go ahead and bring your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Scoop the hands nice and big up towards the ceiling. reach, stretch for the ceiling, and then bring the hands, fingertips down towards the floor and extend and press those hands as long as you can. Reach and extend. And then take a deep breath, scoop up from the earth, up to the ceiling. And exhale, lower down. Deep breath in, up. And exhale. Then go ahead and place the right hand on the floor. Take a deep breath in and left arm up over. And then trying to keep that chest upright. Letting the breath flow. And then go ahead and release down the left hand and then big breath in, right arm up overhead. And go ahead and lower down that right hand. And then go ahead and bring your fingertips out nice and wide, stretch and elongate. And then give yourself a nice big hug, wrapping the right arm over top the left. And then really bringing those hands as far back as you can around your back. And lower those shoulders down. And then go ahead and extend the arms back out to the sides. Reach and extend nice and long. Deep breath in with your chest. And then give yourself a hug. Left arm over top. And again, letting those arms and shoulders release down. And go ahead and release the arms. And go ahead and roll the shoulders back. Nice big circles backwards. And again, just trying to get the biggest full range of motion as you can. And roll the shoulders forward. And then go ahead and roll the neck from the left shoulder, chin down towards the chest, nice big circle, and then down over towards the right shoulder, and then the right shoulder down towards the chest and to the left. And switch from side to side. And then go ahead and tilt the head over to the right side, gently tugging the right hand over top on that left and bringing it towards that right shoulder. Feeling that stretch and elongation on that left side neck. And visualize as you exhale your breath, breathing space into your neck, letting it relax and release. And then release, and then stretch out to the other side. So bringing that left hand on the right side of the head and gently tucking it, pulling it over to the left side of the body. Feeling that stretch and elongation on the right side of the neck. And go ahead and release tension. And then tuck the chin down towards the chest. Exhale your breath out. And then breathe in, chin up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bring the chest back down. And alternate between the two using the pace of your breath. And go ahead and bring the head back to neutral. And then go ahead and bring the left arm up towards the ceiling. And then bring the hand down towards your back. And then you're going to have a little bit of a pull into your left tricep. And then go ahead and bring your right hand just gently over top of that elbow, and then letting the left hand travel down your back as far as it can go. And just remembering to take nice, even breaths here. Again, allowing yourself to breathe into that space to let it open up and free. You can go ahead and release the left hand, and then we're going to switch it out. So the right arm goes up overhead, nice and tall. Bend the elbow, bringing that right hand down towards the back, and then using that left arm to assist in letting that right hand travel down your back. Go ahead and release that right hand. And then now we're going to go ahead and grab for the hands in the back. So go ahead and interlace those hands behind the lower back. And at first, we're going to place the hands right along the flat of the back and pushing those shoulders forward with the elbows. You should feel a little bit of stretch within your shoulders. And again, try and let the shoulders release. Relax down your back, sliding down, but still pressing the elbows forward. Go ahead and let the hands extend back behind. So gripping the hands into a fist or ball in the back, and then pressing the chest forward as you let the elbows straighten out and then the hands lift up. And then as you continue to release and stretch, maybe you have the opportunity to bring your hands down towards your spine or your tailbone while still lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. And release the hands. And go ahead and shake those arms out. Probably feel a little bit of blood moving down towards your hands. Maybe roll your wrists in a circle. And then now what you're going to do is bring the right hand in front, bent elbow, and then scoop that left arm underneath that right elbow, and then crisscross and press your hands against one another into our eagle pose. And then slowly let your shoulders sit down and relax and hold. And then go ahead and slowly release and let those hands shake out a little bit. And then we're going to switch it on over to the other side. So left arm goes up, bent, scoop that right hand underneath, and then bring the hands together, pushing against each other, and slowly release those shoulders down. And slowly release and shake out those hands and wrists. And then we're going to go ahead into tabletop position. So hands right underneath the shoulders, knees kind of underneath and a little bit outside of the hips. And then slowly just shift your body left to right. And then slowly we're going to shift our body into a little bit of a circle. So you can do a big circle, little circle, whatever feels right to you. We're going to go ahead and go counterclockwise to begin with. And again, this is just to kind of roll out the hips, roll out the shoulders, create a little bit of movement. And then switch the direction. And then we're going to get ready for our cat-cow stretches. So taking a deep breath in and arching that spine, tucking the chin towards the chest and tucking the tailbone underneath. Then exhaling, slowly bringing the chin up towards the ceiling, belly button down towards the floor. And using the pace of your breath to go ahead and move between the two. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and sit those hips back into child's pose, letting the arms fall forward. And then chest trying to bring down to the floor as much as possible. And then go ahead and transition out of that child's pose and into upward dog or cobra pose. So bring the hips forward. And go ahead and bring the belly up towards the spine and slowly transition the hips back into child's pose. And take a deep breath in and transition back to upward dog or cobra. And shift the hips back into child's pose again. And then come back into tabletop position. We're going to do a couple of plank holds here. So you can start out with your knees if you'd like. So I like to bring the knees and then crisscross the ankles in the back, and then just tilt the hips forward at a slant and holding belly button to spine. Or you can go into full plank, extending the feet in the back and holding. And slowly lower your body down. You can come down knees first, then on elbows or come down into chaturanga. Take a deep breath in and then transition to upward dog. Then go ahead and curl those toes underneath. Bring the belly up towards the spine and push the hips back into downward dog. Pressing those heels down in the back and pushing through those shoulders. And slowly walk those feet up to the hands as best as possible into forward fold. And if you need a yoga block or pillow to assist here, feel free to use that at this time. And go ahead and slide those palms right underneath those kneecaps and pushing the legs towards the back of the room, stretching and elongating your neck forward. And exhale, slowly bring those hands back down towards our forward fold. Then go ahead and let those feet transition to the outer parts of your mat. And slowly bend those knees and sit the hips back as far as you can. And the goal here will be to stand in between your legs, letting your elbows push on the outsides of the knees. And then if that is a little bit too much of an extension, feel free to play here. You can shift the body side to side into a straddle pose, whatever is comfortable to you. And go ahead and place those hands on the floor and then transition back up into forward fold, letting those feet come together. And slowly walking the hands up towards the top of the mat, kicking the feet back and folding into plank. And again, if you need to come down to your knees, feel free to do so. And slowly lower the body down. And then lift up into upward dog. Then go ahead and tuck those toes underneath and push the hips back into downward dog. And slowly walk those feet up towards those hands into forward fold. Go ahead and lift up into halfway fold. So palms right below the kneecaps, pushing the hips to the back of the room, elongating and lengthening the neck. And slowly come on down into forward fold. And then with the hands planted, feel free to bring the feet up to the outside. And again, you can play into straddle pose, or you can bend and come on down. And go ahead and place the hands on the mat and then come up into your forward fold once again, or your straddle. And go ahead and walk the hands and feet into a plank position. And slowly lower down. Take a deep breath in, lift up into upward dog. And then go ahead into tabletop for just a moment. And go ahead and place those hands to the left side of your mat. And slowly bring the right foot up into a lunging position. And then we're going to just bounce a little bit between forward and back and letting the hands walk as you do. So coming back all the way if you can, as straight as you can with the leg. Then using your hands to walk and crawl forward. And just slowly transitioning back and forth. Then go ahead and transition that right foot back. And then we're going to shift the hands over to the right side, bringing that left foot up forward. And then again, just a little bit of a forward and back. Using the hands to assist in walking. Again, just slowly easing into it. So a little bit movement back, a little bit movement forward. Just transitioning between the two. Go ahead and let that left foot draw back. And then we're going to go ahead and bring both of our knees onto the outer edges of the mat. And then slowly letting your hips shift into frog pose. And it might be helpful to have a yoga block or a pillow right here for your elbows to kind of help transition and push the hips back. And then coming up into upward neutral position. And go ahead and let the knees sink together in the middle, and then go ahead and bring the hands to the outer edge of the mat. And slowly we're going to rock our hips from the left and then over to the right. Nice, easy, slow transition in motion, whatever feels comfortable to you. And if it doesn't feel good to go all the way from one side to another, then just do the range of motion that feels right. And then go ahead and come into our tabletop again, and then bringing the right knee up alongside the foot, alongside the right foot. And then go ahead and transition the hips from left to right for a quick second. Just getting a little bit of movement just into that hip. And then slowly we're going to bring the right foot underneath that left hand, and then that right knee underneath the right hand, and sit on back into our pigeon pose. And again, this might be where a yoga block is of assistance for your hands placement. And again, slowly you want to work to bringing your right hip down towards the floor. And then just focus on nice deep breaths here. Try and visualize your exhalation, opening this space into that hip joint. And slowly coming upright. And then we're going to work on switching out those legs. So again, just bringing that left foot up towards that left hand. And then we're just going to shift left and right with just the hip first. And then slowly bringing the right ankle towards the right hand, the left knee towards the left hand, and then slowly sliding that foot back. And again, you're wanting to try and work that left glute and hip into the floor, slowly but surely. And if you need a yoga block or a pillow to help facilitate some space, and just visualize your exhalation, breathing into that and opening space into your hip. And then go ahead and slowly lift up and out. And then go ahead and put the knees nice and wide onto the mat. And shaking out the hips from side to side. Maybe do a couple of circles if it feels okay to you. You can go ahead and work on bringing your feet out towards in front of you. It's nice and straight. And connecting the tailbone to the floor. And then like to bounce your legs a little bit. That might feel good. Maybe windshield wiper the legs in and out. And then go ahead and bend the knees up, feet flat on the floor, and then bracing the hands onto the shin right below the knee. And exhaling, curving the spine into a C-shaped position, tucking the chin towards the chest. And taking a deep breath in, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling, taking a deep breath and squeezing the scaps in the back. And exhaling, coming into that C-shaped position and using the pace of your breath to transition between the two. And bringing the feet up towards the top of the mat. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, laying back. And then letting your shoulder blades find and meet into the mat with no space between, as well as your lower back. And then bringing the feet to the outer edge of the mat, letting the knees cave in towards each other to the center. And taking a few deep breaths here, letting your body settle into the floor. And then taking a deep breath in, bringing the knees up towards the chest and hugging the knees into the chest. And then rocking side to side, back and forth. And then bringing the knees into the chest, hugging nice and tight into a ball. And slowly releasing, letting the arms fall back into the floor, feet into the floor, and then filling all the void and empty space between you and the mat. And then slowly letting the legs fall all the way down to the mat and letting your body settle into. And then just taking this moment to breathe deep, slowing down your breath. Perhaps maybe even bringing into your mind the intention you may have set for your practice. And just taking a moment to let that settle in. And let your body be still. And as you're ready, go ahead and begin to move your hands and feet, maybe deepen your breath. Let your body slowly awaken. And perhaps shift your body over to one side into fetal position, letting your arms serve as a pillow for your head. And at your ready, feel free to shift upright. And bringing the hands to heart center. And feeling the breath move within your chest. Feel the weight on your shoulders fall away. Let your chest elevate and lift up and be free. And take this moment to give thanks to your body for allowing yourself the ability to maneuver through this practice and to afford yourself the opportunity for some self-care and some reflection and to instill peace within yourself. And I want to thank you for joining me for this last session of Yoga for Everyone here on CF Yogi during Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. As this is an important part of our mission and our practice is to offer peace and tranquility and mobility and wellness to all. And thank you so much for joining us in our fight with cystic fibrosis every single day and honoring and supporting our practice and our mission. Thank you so much and namaste.